A robotic rover deployed in the most Mars-like environment on Earth. The Atacama Desert in Chile has successfully recovered subsurface soil samples during a trial mission to find signs of life. The samples contained unusual and highly A robotic rover deployed in the most Mars-like environment on Earth. The Atacama Desert in Chile has successfully recovered subsurface soil samples during a trial mission to find signs of life. The samples contained unusual and highly specialized microbes that were distributed in patches, which researchers linked to the limited water availability, scarce nutrients and chemistry of the soil. These findings, published in Frontiers in Microbiology, we have shown that a robotic rover can recover subsurface soil in the most Mars-like desert on Earth, says Stephen Pointing, a professor at Yale College, Singapore, who led the microbial research. This that were distributed because most scientists agree that any life on Mars would have to occur below the surface to escape there. Harsh surface conditions where high radiation, low temperature and lack of water make life unlikely. He continues, we found microbes adapted to high salt levels, similar to what may be expected in the Martian subsurface. These microbes are very different from those previously known to occur on the surface of deserts. In 2020, both NASA and the European Space Agency will embark on missions to deploy rovers on the surface of Mars. They will search for evidence of past or present life and, for the first time, drill below the surface where refuges for simple microbial life may still exist. Pakistan not holding any backdoor talks with India. FM Qureshi. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi on Wednesday said that Pakistan is not holding backdoor talks with India. This announcement came just 2 days after Prime Minister Imran Khan and the Foreign Minister UK regulator fines Indian channel for airing hate against Pakistan. A British broadcast regulator has fined an Indian channel, Republic Bharat, £20,000 for remarks made during a current affairs show that were expressions of hatred against Pakistan and its nationals. In a Israel to hold snap election, with Netanyahu facing new challenges. Israel will hold a snap election in March after Parliament failed on Tuesday to meet a deadline to pass a budget, triggering a ballot presenting new challenges for Prime Minister. COVID-19 vaccine stirs rare hesitation in nearly virus-free Singapore. As Singapore prepares to roll out COVID-19 vaccinations, it's striking. Success in controlling the virus is making some question whether they should take the jabs, in a city-state where compliance with pollution deaths in India rose to 1.67 million in 2019 report. Toxic air killed more people in India in 2019 than in 2017, The Lancet, a medical journal, said in a report shared by the government on Tuesday, with 1.67 million deaths. U.S. sails nuclear sub through Strait of Hormuz amid Iran tensions. In an unusual show of force, the guided missile submarine USS Georgia sailed through the Strait of Hormuz while surfaced on Monday, escorted by the cruisers USS Philippine Sea and USS Port. Nicaragua passes law to sideline adversaries in 2021 election. Nicaragua's National Assembly on Monday passed a law to prevent people the government believes financed attempts to oust President Daniel Ortega, or encouraged sanctions against his officials from standing in 2021. Trump meets U.S. House Republican allies to push voter fraud claims. U.S. President Donald Trump met a group of Republican lawmakers on Monday in his thus far fruitless bid to gain momentum for claims that the November 3 presidential election won by Democrat UAE, Saudi spywares target phones of Al Jazeera journalists report. Dozens of journalists at Al Jazeera, the Qatari state-owned media company, have been targeted by advanced spyware in an attack likely linked to the governments of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Australia's most populous state says COVID-19 cases at 3-day low. Australia's most populous state on Monday reported its lowest one-day rise in new COVID-19 cases in 3 days, stoking cautious optimism that authorities have contained an outbreak in Sydney's northern beachside. More European Union nations ban travel from UK, fearing virus variant. A growing list of European Union nations and Canada barred travel from the UK on Sunday, and others were considering similar action, in a bid to block a new strain of Netherlands, Belgium suspend UK arrivals over COVID-19 mutation. The Netherlands has banned flights carrying passengers from the United Kingdom, UK. The ban, from 6 a.m., 5 a.m. GMT, on Sunday until January 1st, came hours after Britain announced a stay-at-home. The core of the Atacama Desert in Chile is extremely dry, experiencing decades without rainfall. It has high surface UV radiation exposure and is comprised of very salty soil. It's the closest match we have on Earth to Mars, which makes it good for testing simulated missions to this planet, argues. Pointing. An autonomous rover-mounted robotic drill and sampling device, funded by NASA, designed by Carnegie Mellon's Robotics Institute, was deployed in the Atacama Desert to test if it could successfully recover sediment samples down to a depth of 80 centimeters. Pointing and his colleagues compared samples recovered by the rover to soil samples carefully taken by hand. Using DNA sequencing, they found that bacterial life in the sediments recovered by both methods was similar. These results confirm a basic ecological rule that microbial life is patchy in Earth's most extreme habitats, which hints that past or present life on other planets may also exhibit patchiness, explains study. Co-authors Nathalie Cabral and Kim Warren Rhodes of the SETI Institute. While this will make detection more challenging, our findings provide possible signposts to guide the exploration for life on Mars. UK, France to reach deal on travel ban involving army testing. Truckers for COVID reports. The United Kingdom could reach a deal with France later in the day to lift the movement restrictions imposed after the emergence of a new COVID-19 strain in the UK, the country's media reported Tuesday, adding that the deal will involve the military testing UK truck drivers entering France. Gibraltar announces selective entry restrictions over new coronavirus strain. Gibraltar, a territory of the United Kingdom on the southernmost tip of the European continent at the edge of Spain, has closed the borders to certain categories of arrivals over the new, mutated coronavirus strain, the local government said on Tuesday. Foreign ministers of Russia, China discuss results of year bilateral cooperation. Moscow. Trump signs $1.4 trillion spending package that includes $900 billion in COVID-19 relief. Germany warns citizens against travelling to UK over new coronavirus strain. Putin signs law postponing mandatory installment of Russian software on gadgets. Russian lower house speaker calls for termination of double taxation deal with Netherlands. More than 50,000 vaccinated in Russia. Health Minister. COVID-19 leaves almost 80,000 people in Japan unemployed, reports. WHO Regional Office for Europe to discuss new COVID-19 strain with member states head. Russia's Bogdanov, Saudi ambassador discuss situation in Persian Gulf, Yemen. Moscow. China condemns U.S. visa restrictions on Chinese officials. Foreign Ministry. Pointing highlights that future research includes drilling deeper to understand just how far down recoverable microbes occur. Mars missions hope to drill to approximately 2 meters, and so having an Earth-based comparison will help identify potential problems and the interpretation of results once rovers are deployed there. Ecological studies that help us predict the habitable areas for microbial communities in Earth's most extreme environments will also be critical to finding life on other planets. More than half of Hudson River tidal marshes were created accidentally by humans. When light and atoms share a common vibe, Russia lifts UK telecom satellites into orbit. Water limitations in the tropics offset carbon uptake from Arctic greening. NASA's Webb Sun shell successfully unfolds intentions in final tests. recently discovered comet seen during 2020 total solar eclipse. A Russian space capsule carrying a humanoid robot has successfully docked at the International Space Station after a failed attempt earlier the week. Russian space agency Roscosmos said that the capsule carrying the robot and other cargo docked at the orbiting lab early morning Moscow time. The robot, called Fiddle, sent out a tweet upon arriving saying, "Sorry about the delay. Got stuck in traffic. Ready to work now." The capsule was launched as part of tests of a new rocket that is expected to replace the workhorse Soyuz FG next year, but failed to dock. It was safely arrived. Fiddle performed 2 weeks of tests aboard the space station and returned back to home Earth station. Robots like Fiddle eventually carried out dangerous operations such as space walks, according to the Russian Space Agency.